Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. I'm David, and well, this is Nova. Uh, Nova's the character the MCU hasn't seen yet, at least not that, not as of this recording. Nova Sam Alexander version, at least, uh, is this pretty cool character from the comics. I'm not a Marvel comic aficionado. I don't have the full depth of knowledge that many of you, I'm sure, have. I don't claim to know it all. What I do know about Nova is really awesome. Nova's a fun character that I'm a fan of the more I get to know Nova, and I really look forward to seeing Nova on screen. Nova in Marvel United uh, is interesting. The stats, not fantastic. Two move symbols, three punch symbols, and six heroic symbols. And you kind of go, wait, David, this isn't fantastic. What's going on? How does Nova actually get good? Well, that's because all of Nova's specials have wilds on them. Yeah. So Nova again has one of each symbol as a single. Those aren't the best, but they're not the worst. You're never going to be stuck with just those. I mean, you could have an opening hand of that, but you're still going to draw a card. So there's some hope, right? Even your worst hand, probably not going to have all of those unless you've taken some damage. Okay. So what does Nova really bring to the table? It's heroics. Basically, every card lets you do something heroic. I mean, unless you're just with a move, a punch. If you're down to one health, you have one of your two cards, and you draw a card. That is unless you've got the wilds, but even then, you have the option to be heroic if you want to. So that's your choice, and I think that's how you have to play Nova. You have to say, I'm bringing in Nova because I want a character to be heroic. I have five or six threat cards that involve putting down heroics and removing those threats from the board. Nova is high value heroic placement because all of Nova's specials, all three of them, are wild on the bottom and double heroic in an adjacent location. That's a massive amount of heroic help. Those locations that say heroes cannot leave this location or leaving this location require one extra movement symbol. That's where Nova's going to come in handy. That's the best situation for him. Uh, Heroes ending their movement in this location take one extra damage. Again, Nova doesn't have to end his movement in that location. Nova can place the heroic symbols there. And then somebody else can come in and drop the heroic and get rid of the threat. That's where Nova becomes super useful. Nova's also civilian rescue, right? Let's not overlook that as a path to game completion. See, Nova opens up possibilities, and I think that's how you have to play the game. Most of us, at least most of the time I play, the two missions I go after are thug removal and mission completion. Civilian removal is a delightful benefit, but typically it's not my pathway to game end. Nova changes that. Nova says, I'm bringing enough heroic actions that this is now a pathway. It's not that Nova's necessarily providing enough heroics to the other players, right? Only six, but a double heroic, two heroic punches, a move heroic. A lot of these cards are double action symbols. Granted, it's only four of the seven, and all of the specials are singles, but they're wilds. So, like I said at the get go, there's two movements, but there could be up to five. There's three punches, but it could be up to six. There's six heroics, it could be up to nine. And you got to remember, everything's doubled because the next player is using those symbols too. So Nova is providing a great use. There's very few characters that bring more wild symbols to the game, and there's also very few characters that bring more heroics to the game when you account for the double heroics here on I Am the Help. I would also at least consider with the new solo player mode, if you're bringing a high attack character as your main, bringing in Nova's specials as part of your multi character side deck, I think it's a worthwhile include. Just another thought. I don't know. We'll go through those at some point to try to construct some different character decks. But I like what Nova brings. I think that he brings good balance to an overall team. I think you can go heavy attackers with him. Go like a Beta Ray Bill, a Thor, a Punisher, and have a Nova. And you've got a balanced two-man team. You can also bring in an overall character, and you've got a really balanced three-player team. And Nova even fits really well in a four-player team, because what ends up lacking a lot of times when you get to any player count is heroics, and Nova's sitting here going, "Nah, I got you." That's the best situation you can be in. So, just my 2 cents. I find Nova really high up on my heroics. So, yeah, that's it for me. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for watching. And until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care, everybody.